Good afternoon, class. Today we'll be discussing bar chart, which is another way of presenting data aside pie chart and frequency table we discussed before. A bar chart is a graphical representation of data using rectangles of equal width with different heights which are proportional to the frequencies of the items. That is, here you will draw rectangles, or let me say rectangular bars that will be of the same width. That is, no one will be fatter or thinner than the other, but the height depends on the frequency of the body. For example, the table below gives the ages of some students who were born in April. See the ages 13 to 17, number of students from 8 to 8. You are to show this information in a bar chart. This is what you will do. You will come to your graph. If you want to draw bar chart, you use a graph like this. You draw your horizontal axis this way, as you can see mine, using your ruler. Put this arrow, name it. The horizontal axis will represent what you have on top here. That is age in years. The vertical axis will represent what you have down here, number of students. So the first thing you do, you draw your horizontal axis, put this arrow, put your age, that's labeling the axis, years. Also, you draw your vertical axis, put this arrow, let's know the name, number of students, that's the name. Now, if possible, avoid using the edges as I have done here when you are drawing the axis. Then let's start with the vertical axis. When you check your table, see the table here. For the vertical axis, we have values 8, 5, 6, 3, 8. So the highest value there is 8. So you will choose a suitable scale on the vertical axis that will make the reading of all your values very easy for you. Like in my own case, I chose 2 centimeters. This is from here to here is 2 centimeters to 1 unit. Another 2 centimeters, 1 unit. That's why you see 2 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, after you've done that, you can now draw your rectangles. If you check, before I drew my rectangular bar, the first one, the distance from here to here, you have 5 lines. I drew a rectangular bar that is 2 cm from here to here to represent the first one. And from our table, you discover that 13 years old, we have 8 of them, 8 students. So from here, you draw to 8. I want to maintain this width, that's 10 lines for my rectangular bars. 8, that's what you have here. That's the first one for each 13. This is 13 under. You write the 13 under it. That means the 8 belongs to 13. Then the next one, 14 years old for 5. So the same space you've given here, give that same space for the next rectangular bar. You see 5 lines. Then the next one. Then you have to maintain the same width as the first rectangle. See the width for the first rectangle, 10 lines. So I'm maintaining the same width for the next rectangle, which is these 10 lines. Look at it here. To have my 5, you take it to 5, 14 for 5. Look at it here. Vertical axis, you are taking it to 5, and that will be for 14. Then when you check my table, for 15 we have 6. So you maintain the same gap in between them, that's 5 lines. As you can see, the gap from here to here before you draw the next rectangular bar. Next rectangular bar will take it to 6. You can see it to 6. Look at it. The same gap, 10 lines, as in this and also in this one. Then you write the owner, that is 15. The next one on your table, we have 16, 3, 17, 8. For 16, 3, before you draw your 16, you give that gap. Then the width of your rectangle must be the same, 10 lines, as others. You take it to 3. See 3 here? You can see it. This is the rectangular bar of the same way. You see 16. Then the last one is 8. You give the same gap first, then you draw it to 8. Look at it to 8. The same width. The rectangular bars must be of the same width, 10 lines. You bring it down, and the owner is 17. And with this, you have drawn your bar chart. You discover here we have rectangles of the same width. Look at them, 5 of them. Then there you have spacing between them. You don't join them together. This is what you call a bar chart. Number 2, the table shows grades in percentages of 200 students in a selection test. See the grades, 10 to 100, number of students having those grades. So you have to draw a bar chart for the information. You have to find the mode and median of these grades. Now, see my graph here. You draw your horizontal axis as we said. You draw your vertical axis. You label them. Grades. Number of students for the vertical. As I told you earlier, what you have here will be on horizontal axis. What you have here will be on vertical. Then, after you've drawn your axis and you've labeled them, you come to your vertical axis. Look out for the highest value there. You will see 32. Now, you will choose a suitable scale on your vertical axis that will help you to read all values available there. Therefore, if you check my own, I chose 2 centimeters to 5 units. 2 centimeters, 5. Another 5, making 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Remember, the highest value is 32. So that means I'll be able to read 35. Where, if you want 1, you count 2 lines. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. You can see I'm on 5. Now, from our table, we are going to draw 10 rectangular bars. So you reduce the width of your rectangles so that it won't be as big as the first one. For 10 we have 12. See the gap I gave between them. I used 3 lines. Then for my rectangular bars I use 5 lines. The first one is to 12. 10 marks for 12. You take it to 12. That is 10. 1 to 11. 1 to 12. You draw. See the bar. The same gap you've given here, maintain in 3 lines, and you start with the next one. For the next one on our table, 20 for 16. When you check the table, you see 20 for 16. Look at it, 20 for 16. So you are taking here to 16. When you get to 15, 1 to 16. Remember, 2 lines will give you 1. You drop. You bring it down. The same width as this. That's 5 lines. Then you give space of 3 lines. The next one, you are taking it to 20. You draw to 20. Look at it. 5 lines. You bring it down. Spacing them, 3 lines. The next one, we are taking it to 25. You draw 25. 5 lines. You bring it down to have a rectangular bar. And you'll be writing the units under each bar. You'll be writing the units under each bar. 10, 20, 30, 40. For 50, we are going to 28. For 28, you move 25, 1 to 26, 1 to 27, 1 to 28. 5 lines to this place, bring it down. That will give you 50. Count 3 lines to maintain the same spacing. Here we are. The next one is to 32. Take it to 30, 1 to 31, 1 to 32. Bring it like this, bring it down, 5 lines. That is for 60. Space, the space between them, 3 lines, 1 to 3. So that I'll be able to have my 10 rectangular bars. Then the next one is 31. Take it to 30, 1 to 31. Maintain your width, 5 lines for the rectangular bars. Bring it down for 70. Then the space between those rectangular bars, 3 lines for my own case. The next one is 24. 20, 1 to 21, 1 to 22, 1 to 23, 1 to 24. 5 lines. Bring it down. 3 lines between them. This is for 80. Then the next one is 8 for 90. This is 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8. 5 lines for the width of the rectangle. That is for 90. Spacing between them, 1, 2, 3 lines. Then the next one is 4. For 4, 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Then you bring it 5 lines. And with this, I have drawn my 10 rectangular bars. Even if I have 20, that's how I would reduce the width of my rectangular bars. You make sure the rectangular bars are of equal width. Creativity, that's what you employ here. After you've done that, you will now use it to answer the question given. If you are to look for the mode of degrees means look out for the tallest rectangle here. When you check, the tallest rectangle is this, and the owner is 60. So the mode will be 60% because the degrees are in percentages. 60%. Degrees with the highest height or the tallest rectangle. While your median will be gotten by dividing what you have here into 200. Share this something into 2, the middle value. That's your median. When you divide 200 into 2, it gives you 100. Then you start adding your frequencies. 12 plus 16 is 48. This is 28. 28 plus 20, 48. 48 plus 25 is 73. You are not yet at 100. But when you add 28, you'll be at 101, which means 50. 100 is in 50 miles. That's 50 miles in 100. When you start this way, the same thing will happen. At 32, you won't be at 100. But when you get here, you have a value, that 100 that you need. And that is why the median is 50%.